to be on here with y'all. This is really a dream come true. The only thing is for Marilyn, we really can't see your face. It's like foggy or something. Maybe your lens or something. But I didn't want us to start without to start and talk first, because I know that we will just really go so far and get, enjoy ourselves and forget everybody else. So enjoy each other. So this is gonna be so epic. I'm so happy to see y'all. The numbers are shooting up like crazy already. I don't know if y'all can see them. They keep like shooting up. And someone earlier today told me that my speaking voice is not appropriate for millennials because millennials won't be listening to me because of the way that I talk. Also known as masculine girls. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So I'm super duper excited. Okay, listen, everybody. We are talking about such a really simple topic that a lot of people ask us. A lot of people ask us this. Okay, so you're talking about this great family thing, this great family background, and this great family that you want, and how people need to be married to someone from a two-parent home, blah, blah, blah. What about people like me? Can I marry someone if I come from a bad family? And literally people say bad family. That's why we use this word today. All right. And because more, this is the situation with like everybody. This is affecting our entire community. So I'm saying all of this to say that what we're talking about today is so huge and important. And we're going to be able to give people a large amount of guidance with your help. So let me see. Let me make sure you all are not frozen. Okay. Are you all still there? Everybody looks frozen. Okay, let me see here.
We're here. We're here. Can you hear? Oh, no. Okay. Well, I believe that we will come back soon. It is nice to see everyone. Hello.
Hello, ladies.
Yeah.
Yes, it is smoke and mirrors. I'm reading some of the comments. So please do comment, share, like. We're going to get started. This is the perfect opportunity to make sure that people have a chance to get in on the live. So we are going to be a little bit patient and get back in here.
Okay.
See, there's Mrs. Grunschenwald. They're good.
Yes,
And I can.
keep stopping.
That's good. So,
Literally, people say bad.
button and share and invite people to join this live session. Okay.
So I don't know how long we were gone, but I was like talking and you all were frozen.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe I was frozen. I don't know. Okay. So this is a way for us to answer questions as a group. You all are so good here representing us today. So first we're going to go right into it. And we are going to, if Miss Colbert is listening, we're going to add her later because we only have enough space for 6. And so we're going to pop out one person while she talks. Okay. So I want to say first that who we have here with us is Mrs. Anderson, certified and mentor, who is married for several years. Hi, Mrs. Anderson. Okay, and hopefully everybody as well. I know that you all are because we have asked you earlier. We also have Mrs. Perryman, also a married housewife. Everyone married here is a housewife, a non-working Black African American certified housewife and mentor or mentor in training. So we have Mrs. Perryman. Hi, Mrs. Perryman.
Hello, Mrs. Bourgeois.
And we have Mrs. Malak. Hi, Mrs. Malak.
Hi.
So, always, according to African tradition, we introduce the married ladies first, and age does not matter, because at marriage causes people to have a certain level of wisdom that everyone knows happens when you're after you're married. And next we have Miss Marilyn. Hi. We have Miss Hoffler. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so we just want to say that to everyone that each of you here is a certified wife, and that means that you have completed wife school and that you have studied all 57 of our wife school courses. Very few people can say that, but all of the certified wives can say that. We also want to talk about, go into a little bit of detail about our subject. The actual steps that happen to ladies who come through our movement and what happens in their lives when they try to reach the ability to marry a quality husband. People don't go to wife school to marry a low quality husband. People go to wife school to marry a husband who has something great to offer to our generational success. And for a lot of Black men, that is a good family background. Contrary to what people are taught in America, what happens is we as Black ladies understand that to get the best backing for the best future, we need good family background. So we seek to marry a man who is an actual man, not a male, who has a great family behind him, married parents, so forth and so on. Okay? So we want everybody to understand that. We also want people to understand that in wife school, we have a lot of people from different backgrounds. But everybody who comes to wife school and gets accepted, because you do have to apply, these ladies come from different backgrounds. Some are married and some are single. Some come from one parent homes. Some come from zero parent homes. And the main thing that they need from us, in our opinion and based on our background, is family support. So if they marry a man who has a great family background, we're here as their family background. It is one of the most important aspects of our movement. And actually, because we're so organized and focused on generational success, great quality men do care that women are backed up by us. Not just by us, by our husbands. Okay. What you all need to understand is our husbands are not these talkity talkers. Okay. Our husbands talk when money is involved. When money is involved, because they are resting otherwise. And so, and with family, that's another thing. But we need everybody to understand that in our movement, our husbands are in the background making sure that we are protected. They're making sure that we are well taken care of. They are building our generational success. They're loving us. They're making sure that we have enough happiness and energy to come on here and talk to y'all. Right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay, so I want to talk about the steps. I'm just going to go over the steps that usually happen when ladies come to our movement from a broken family background. Not the ladies that come from a good family background, but the ladies that come from a good family background still have the ability strongly to get sucked up because Black America is matriarchal. And so, but our biggest problems are usually from ladies who don't understand where we're coming from, what our intentions are, why we care so much, what we really want, and all this kind of crazy stuff. Okay. We're going to get in deep with y'all, and this is going to. Now, there are 10 steps that happen to ladies. It's kind of like when you have those grieving steps, and the people, I don't remember what all the steps are, but there are steps to grief. Okay, we see this, and we have been mentors officially in this movement since 2015. There have been plenty of ladies that come in and they operate under a pattern that they're not aware of based on the fact that our people need professional help in a lot of areas. Let's just put it like that. Okay, so the first step is sabotage. The first thing that ladies do when they come to our movement, when they feel like they are not good enough, they may not measure up, a bunch of interesting things, the first thing that usually happens is they try to escape by sabotaging themselves. And some kind of, like when you see children who don't come, little small children who don't come from a good family background, sometimes they may have to go to foster care and they try to see if the parent loves them and they try to act up. That's what we have to deal with in the first stage, right? It's usually just like that. And we're going to go into detail about how that looks today for you all. But these are 10 steps. The first step is usually sabotage. If they pass that step, the second step is sabotage again. If they get past trying to sabotage themselves 2 times, the third step is also sabotage. If they get past the fourth, then the fifth step is also self-sabotage. And we're going to get into exactly what that looks like so that people can actually take notes and be successful, okay? But the sixth step, if they have gotten through all of those things and picked themselves up and gotten away from the desire to sabotage and to find a way out of being healthy, then that step is studying the 57 courses of wife school. And people do it at their own pace. People get their feet wet with like something that they're interested in. And they're like, oh, okay, I'm feeling good here. Okay, so people do that. And then they start to apply what they've learned in their actual lives instead of just learning it. We require that they apply it because we're here in the background as mentors. Then they need to understand, and they start to understand, that in order to attract a high quality man for marriage, they need to complete all of what we teach in order to get a very high wife ability score. If you've seen our wife ability consultations before, you will know that they entail things that men of high quality truly seek, like the ability to understand the steps to generational success. But if you have a child, if you have 2 very well-behaved children, you're still having to take off 500 points of your possible 1,000 points, unless the men that you date for marriage also have a child. So that's how this works. When you hear men say that they don't want to marry a woman who has children, and only men who want the woman to pay bills usually are interested in such a thing, because we're not talking about them. We're talking about the men who want to pay everything because those are called men. All right. Okay. So when they do that, right, it's a called men. And when that happens, um, then women realize, okay, I have done all of this. I need some support. It's uh, step number 8. They realize that they need some support in order to help them and to be more attractive as a package with their children, if they have children. This particular panel is about women who have children and what they're trying to do to increase their odds of the high quality husband, not just anyone, or as we say in France, just doing n'importe quoi. Okay, so when that takes place, when women come to this realization, that's the step when they realize they need to make sure that they have a stable um, background and support for being able to have people take care of their child, and their child can go to them on the weekends, the summer, and stuff like that. Contrary to what men may tell you to your face, that's a huge, huge selling point if you're thoroughly qualified. If you're not thoroughly qualified, and we're talking about the ability to speak English without breaking it, the ability to understand culture, the ability to understand that there are over 100 wife duties based on the woman, based on the husband. There are over 100 wife duties. You know, we had a panel before and we asked people what the 100 wife duties are, and most people can discuss 3 or 4. We're going to get to that next. So then there's the step number 9, when your family sees that you are doing things way more functional and advanced and positive and in an enlightened way than they are, and they try to sabotage you after you have done all of this work. That's step number 9. And
Sabotage.
most people, yeah, a lot of people cannot get past that step number 9 because it breaks their heart. And so they have to decide if they want their future or they want their past. Step number 9 is a real serious issue. And then there's step number 10, which many people do not see coming, especially ladies who are they're single mothers, but they also come from single mother homes. These ladies do not generally understand masculine protection and what a male voucher is. And a male voucher are the men in your life that make sure that your husband has good intentions and that he doesn't act up. And if you don't have that, that's another thing that we are for. But a lot of ladies mess this step up. They do all that work. Then they get past the family sabotage. And then they get to the very end and they forget that they need to carry protection, because if they don't, they can end up attracting an abuser as a husband. And there is nothing about being a certified wife that is abusive, where we allow abuse. We are not doormats and we are not bullies. Every lady that you see on here is a submissive lady. We are happily submissive. Okay? And we thoroughly enjoy serving our husband, being in a serving position, masculine respect, and a lot of things that a lot of ladies find to be oppressive. But these ladies that you see right here understand the beauty of submission. We love to serve a glass of water with 2 hands. Okay. So I'm going to ask the panelists. We're so excited.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Mrs. Anderson,
Yeah.
would you be so kind as to let us know what the usual first level steps of sabotage are?
Yeah. So the first thing that we witness from the sabotage is destruction. And it has to do with your level of integrity. So we will help people, and then you'll turn around, and then they will try to do backstabbing. Things that it's just really low life.
But you know, we should probably say why. Why would people do such a thing? Why would people go against people who are so nice to them?
It's a couple of reasons. One, they have it's like the first time in their life that people have actually been kind to them, and so they think it's fake. So they try to push and push and push and see if you're going to do something different than what you really are. So they were trying to test your limits. And it's much like how children test their parents when if they were hit and they decide to stop, they'll just keep testing the limits. The other reason why is a bit of jealousy, because how dare we grow up in a lifestyle where our parents treated us well, but their parents did not. So there is a bit of jealousy that we have to deal with as well. And then you have the reinvention of themselves. So they discredit who helped them to overcome some things and try to drag them in the mud and reinvent themselves as if they had no help to go from the ghetto lifestyle that they had grew up in to a more refined and knowing that you hold your glass by the stem, because they were drinking out of red Solo cups their entire life.
Yeah.
And eating styrofoam plates. What?
And if anybody's wondering, okay, there is nothing desirable about staying in the ghetto. A lot of Black people were born in the ghetto. A lot of Black people lived in the ghetto. Black people in America are supposed to live in the ghetto. That's like the system. But wanting to stay there is not honorable. That's not why we're here. We're here for wife excellence. We're here for generational success. We're here to shine as beautiful as we were intended to based on our genetics. We're not here for coon checking. Okay, I'm going to go to that later. Would you like to say something else, Mrs. Anderson? Was that complete?
That specific topic is complete, yes.
All right, so now, Mrs. Malak, what could you add about the sabotaging thing? Like the next level usually.
Oh, yeah. It's cooning. The cooning is another level of sabotage. So you can hear me okay? The ladies will follow white daddy at the job, then ask for protection. They will follow white daddy in the government and then ask for protection. A third one would be they will pay white daddy and then ask for protection. Another one would be that they will beg whites that don't even care about them and then come back and ask us to take them back. They will also swirl and then ask for Black protection. And then they will follow white JC, then ask for black protection. And then
Yeah. You know,
they
there's this
will,
thing that's going around that Black women are the most unprotected, right?
correct,
Right.
correct. But they want to go and pray to you know who and then disrespect their husband. I mean, you can't have both. You can't. You're self-sabotaging yourself
Yeah.
doing that.
That's
And then the coon checking.
yeah. That's that religious emasculation.
Yes, it's terrible.
So you were saying, what was your last point?
The coon checking, and they do coon checking just to temporarily listen to us. Temporarily.
Hmm. To try to take something back, you know.
Ridiculous.
So I know that Mrs. Perryman has a lot she wants to say about the sabotaging thing. Mrs. Perryman?
Yes, absolutely. And I try to condense it down because I can get very verbose on this. But another way people will sabotage themselves is being contrary and disrespectful. One would be running from money. And I know that seems counterintuitive. Everybody wants money, everybody has bills they need to pay, things they need to get. But when we come to you with steps and things that you need to do to build your wealth, all of a sudden people just run. They avoid it, which is really mind-boggling. People complain that they can't afford wife school, and I keep saying, if you think you can't afford wife school, you haven't been paying attention. There's so many opportunities that we give people for passive income. Also understanding passive income is not passive in the beginning. You have to work to build to where it becomes passive. Next is the hate of success. Also sounds counterintuitive, but people also because people want to be successful. But when you look at what steps need to be taken and you walking through those steps, people try to avoid it, and then they get jealous of the people who are successful. So, like Mrs. Anderson said, the jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
Next is hate of love. People don't understand that a nurturing woman showing love or that correction is love. And so when a nurturing woman who refuses to be a doormat but is not a bully is setting boundaries and trying to correct you in love, they reject that. Understand that men are not women. So when men correct in love, they see that, oh, he's being harsh and that kind of thing. So they don't understand and they reject the people who are actually loving them. Next is being uncooperative, wanting to ask questions first and not follow directions. There's a fire in the building. He's telling you to go out the window. Why do I have to go out the window? Why don't you just go out the window and ask, why did you have me go out? Maybe he knows something you don't know. So it's just the whole uncooperativeness. And men don't want to deal with that. You aren't protectable when you've got a million questions before you do anything. Bad children. Men do not want to come into a situation where you've got disrespectful children, loud children, children who are trying to challenge his, future place. It's chaotic, and a man doesn't want to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
One of my biggest pet peeves, and I learned this. It wasn't my pet peeve before, but once Mrs. G introduced this to me, I quickly got into gear. But being slow and disrespectful. If your
Mm-hmm.
husband asks you to do something, don't be like, "Oh, okay," and then slowly get up. Like, no, you mean your husband has spent all day providing for the family. You can just get up and like when he asks for something, get up and get it. When you're slow, it's like you don't care about him. So you're like, okay, I'll get it on my time, and that's selfish. And then last is thinking femininity is a switch that you can just turn on and off. It's absolutely not possible. Thinking that you can go to work and be this boss and then come home and be all soft for your husband, it just, masculinity and femininity are opposite ends of the spectrum. And masculinity is going to win out, and it's just the switch alone. is going to cause so much stress within you that you're going to become internally sick before it even shows up externally. So then if your body thinks that you're taking a break, you get the cold, you get the flu, you get strep throat, pneumonia. Your body just breaks down from the stress. Women aren't built for stress. Men's testosterone is able to handle the stress, which is why they've got the masculine energy. And when you actually live in your feminine energy and girl down, life is so much easier.
That's so important to understand, Mrs. Perriman, because our Black women are dying so young right now because of the stress from trying to be in masculine energy. They're having heart attacks and strokes in their 30s. 30s. I've realized, like, recently, our Black women, we have genetic benefits called melanin. It helps us keep this youthful appearance that makes us usually look great. But there are 25-year-old women who, I'm not joking, they look 50. 50 years old at 25. Come on, y'all. We have the gift of youth. Don't waste it. Don't waste it.
Yep. Okay. Next, I know, and people feel free, because if you have something to add, like Mrs. Anderson, we know that everybody here is wise and not wasting our time. We know that you all are going to, that you all flow very well, like Mrs. Anderson did. So we appreciate your organization in this patriarchal organized panel. Mrs. Hoffler. Hi. I should say Miss Hoffler. I'm not even used to saying Miss. Most everybody that I know is married. But Miss Hoffler is on her way.
Yes, very soon.
Thank you. I'm on my way.
So did you want to let us know about some of the things that you see as far as ladies who come through our movement, specifically single mothers seeking high quality husbands, and what they sabotage, what you see in one of those steps that we were referring to?
Some of the things that I see are how some of us are fighting to stay unhealthy. Mm-hmm. Some of us are fighting to stay losing. We are fighting to stay manly. I'm not sure why so many of us are repelling what is natural to us, but some of us are running the other way. Mm-hmm. And it's very discouraging to see it, because you can win being a woman. So yeah. I would go with that, in that direction. Also, paper plates. I keep seeing paper plates. I am seeing, how are you cutting a steak on a paper plate? Like, what? Maybe no one's using a knife, so the paper plates are fine. Feeding poor children on paper plates, on the floor, it's wild. Some other things are the bonnets. We're fighting for bonnets. Yes, the bonnets are out of control. They are literally arguments to fight for bonnets that are covering, it's not even their hair. A lot of us are, you're saving the bonnet. I mean, you're saving your hair when we're saying our hair is so beautiful. Let it flow. Let it out. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous when it's messy. It's gorgeous when it's neat. It's beautiful. You don't need to repress, no more oppression. Don't oppress your hair with a bonnet.
I want to know why babies have bonnets now.
Ooh.
They're getting ready to work early. They're starting early to work. No,
Yeah. They have to
it's
they
boot
have to
camp
learn how to
training.
be an employee.
No.
It's really and we're also fighting for dirty hair.
Mhm.
We are, and it's so interesting. Our hair is so light, like cotton. Cotton is very cleansable. It's just, it's cotton hair, cotton t-shirts. You can wash that every day. you, you don't need to save. I don't even know what people are saving. Just let your hair be free. Be a beautiful African woman. I'm not sure why
Bet,
people want to.
I bet if they let their hair be free, they will actually achieve freedom, even though they think they're free. They could
Yeah.
actually achieve.
Achieve freedom with free hair.
You really can't. You really can't. So,
Yeah, the
but
things that they're fighting for. Yeah. Wow. It's interesting. So they're fighting for things that are not fighting for family excellence. And in 2021, we are all about Black family excellence. Black family excellence. Okay, so go ahead and press the like, share, love button, invite people to the panel so that we can continue coming back and enlightening you all with information that you may not know, some things that you do know. And if you do know, come on and, write a comment. We're reading, we're posting, and we hope that this is beneficial to everyone and that if you know somebody who needs to listen to it, just drop the link over to them too. That'll be okay.
Mm-hmm. Because really, I don't want to see one bonnet. If I might have a stroke. I don't want to see a baby in a bonnet, a woman in a bonnet. I don't want to see no goats in a bonnet. I don't want to see no bonnets. I don't want to see those toilet bonnets.
Oh,
Everything got a bonnet.
no,
You can live your life directly. You can live your life directly and bypass the bonnet. The unbonnet life. Okay. What happened to Miss Colbert?
Mrs.
I keep adding her. Let me see. Miss Colbert.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Maybe she doesn't have, maybe, let me go back. Yeah, maybe she was not connected well, but I tried. All right, there we go. We have Miss Malak, I think. So now we want to ask Miss Marilyn. Miss Marilyn,
yeah.
what have you noticed, my dear?
So I've noticed there's this disrespect overall for the Black family. Um, so you, Miss Madam Gregoire, have taught us and through white school that most of what we learn and we know about Black family and culture is wrong. A lot of our raising and upbringing is just wrong. So I think that's the first step that we have to understand when we even come into white school is that we need to relearn it all. It's all wrong. Um, we're disrespecting the idea of family before we can even have one, even though that's what we want. So, especially with like our single mothers, when you're doing things like you're saying bad things about the children's father, that's disrespectful to your family. Um, when you feed your children on paper plates, that's disrespectful to your family. Even married women that are already married, when you are, as Mrs. Perryman said, moving slow to do the things that your husband is asking you to do, that's disrespectful to your family. When you're, as Mrs. Malik said, serving white Jesus, that's disrespectful to your family. Just the ideas of the things that we do on a daily basis is disrespectful to the family as a whole. So how can we want a family and then not do the things to respect the family? We're supposed to be treating our family as our personal royalty. So I think that we need to, one, get to the root of why we come from these bad families. And then we can start to get rid of those things, relearn what we need to know, prevent those things for our children in their future, and then we can attract a quality husband and repeat the cycle of having a healthy, royal, wonderful family. And then also, as a people, especially as women, we tend to uh, not take initiative on things that we need to learn, even though they're the things that we say that we want. And when it's time to move collectively, even as a people, um, we're not ready to do that. So I think that once we relearn what family is and then understand the steps that we're learning and talking about today, to respect our family, we can then have the things that we want. And every single point that each lady is making, it all comes together in a beautiful puzzle, to get the families that we actually seek.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
interesting part
You
is
know
how
what?
we.
Oh, I don't. I'm sorry. I just want to say that to go back with what Miss Marilyn was saying about your children need to be able to repeat. They need to be able to repeat your generational success. But a lot of people, a lot of women are afraid of actual men and they feel safer with males, not understanding that that's the opposite of what we need to do. So I want to take a break before we get to Miss Candace. Miss Candace, can you please try really, really seriously to bring your face closer so that you have the same amount of space around your face as everyone else on the screen, please? So I want to talk about those two things. The need for the understanding of males versus men. And
Mhm.
one of the reasons why this is so confusing is because Black America is filled up with males. So when we say, okay, males versus men, most people are looking at young males, not understanding that the men in America are older.
Mhm.
They're older gentlemen. They still have their masculine instinct intact to protect and provide. But most of those men were not in the household with their children. The women that they had children with were not raised by men and they didn't understand the need to have a husband. And so they separated the ability for the husband to teach the sons how to be actual men because women cannot do that. Women cannot teach boys how to be men. Women can teach boys to be good citizens, to learn how to put their pants on one leg at a time, not spit and stuff like that. But how to be a man, no. And so what we have now, when you look at the fact that America is like 80% from single parent homes, you need to understand that that happened at a certain year. And that's why older men are still men. Older males are actually men. But when you understand that that 80% single parent home created only males, you can't create men from single parent homes. You only can do that if the males left their single parent home to seek out men seriously teaching them. And today we don't have enough teachers for males to leave their home to try to find out how to be men. So we have a whole bunch of males swarming around America, wearing skinny jeans and lip gloss and trying to have their bills paid by a woman so that they can borrow her car while she's at work to go find another sponsor. They may be heterosexual, but they're males. If a male can be a male and a man, But sometimes a male is just a male. And if a male does not have the instinct to protect and provide for one woman, because that's the realistic number that he can protect from a burning building, and her offspring, men need to do that in order to feel needed and be needed. So if you have a male telling you that he doesn't mind if you do some of the protecting and some of the providing, and that it's okay with him if you go to work and answer to the Europeans, that's a male. If he doesn't care if about closing and locking the door at night and making sure that you're protected, that's a male. So what we have to understand is there's an actual instinctual difference. If he walks around like Debo from Friday, he still can seriously be a male if he does not have the instinct to. You ask the average African-born man born on the continent of Africa what their goal in life is, and they will tell you to get married so that I can protect my wife and so that I can live on with my family being very well protected and being taken care of. I need to build something. That's what they're there for. That's what they need to do. So if you have men, you have males calling themselves men, and they don't have that instinct, that's not a male, that's not a man standing in front of you. That's just a male. And it takes a lot of women. We have to repeat it over and over again. Men have instinct to protect and provide for one woman and her offspring. If you see a male who does not have that instinct, he's not a man. And this means he will give you a hard time. Ladies, all of the ladies watching this today, he has no problem hurting you because he's not protective. A protective man cannot be abusive. It's impossible. You can't abuse someone and protect them at the same time. So a male who is abusive is not a man because he doesn't want to hurt. He wants to protect. Men want to protect. So you have to understand that all the danger, bringing your children around males is dangerous for your children. Bringing your bank account around males is dangerous for your bank account. Okay? Bringing your heart around males will get you hurt time and time again. So all of these women in America not able to see the difference between a male and a man, you can need to understand that the male is your real problem and concern. The one who's only a male, not the man. Would somebody like to add to that?
I think you pretty much covered it all on this one. I know we can expound upon this just a little bit more on not necessarily the differentiation between males and men, but the reaction from women when trying to identify males versus men and what their response is. They have been so conditioned to only knowing what males are that they cannot recognize men. It has been switched, and now they reject the pursuit from suitable potential husbands. Instead, they want the males that require them to chase, to buy them a PlayStation, to let them drive their car, to go to work and pay half the rent or whatever it is that they're doing while they, anyways, I'm not going to go.
Ladies, you don't need that. Ladies, this is what you need to do. You need to get yourself together. Prepare yourself for all of the self-sabotage. Go to wife school. Understand that it's going to get deep. And marry yourself a man who comes from a two-parent home, especially if you come from a one-parent home. Two people married who come from a single-parent home is just a disaster. And we also need you to understand that if you cannot find a suitable man in America, the ratio of men to women in Africa is very lovely. It's we love to call it Atlanta opposite. Okay? You don't have to put up with that, and you don't have to put up with these males who want you to be their second, third, and fourth wife while you bring home your check. Talking about they're going to protect you with their two arms. Okay, so I want to hear from Miss Lovely Colbert. I want Miss Colbert to give us a little insight. Miss Colbert is one of the ladies on here, but also Miss Tamika is one of the ladies on here who is a single mother, right? The other thing is, I am a woman who was married before, and I am a woman who has a blended family. Okay? So we're not all here talking about all this perfection. We're telling you what really works because we live it too. You know, Miss Tamika has very excellent, well-behaved children who are cultured and full of class, and they're both boys. And Miss Colbert has a very lovely son. And they have learned what they need to do through what we teach. So, Miss Colbert, let's hear from you, my dear. What would you like to add? Is Miss Colbert frozen, maybe? I think.
I would just
No? Okay.
oh, sorry. Can you hear me? How is everyone?
We have such
I would just like to add in America, I've learned in
I
in America, we have this image of can you hear me? What a man is, and it's completely wrong. Like a lot of females say he's not a man unless he sells drugs. Things, I mean, it's just a complete lie. When you come to Africa, I mean, there are men who are men in America, but there are an abundance of men in Africa, and they're kind and gentle and not no sagging, nothing like that. Especially and you don't have to worry about being fearful in any kind of way, any type of like abuse from the men here. And there's an abundance. Like most of the men that I've met have been men. That we've met have been men, and it's wonderful. It's just such a different feeling instead of this kind of hyperactive male, these male actions that seem to be masculine. It's really from a male, and a lot of us have gotten that confused for a long time. And coming home, when you come to Africa, you see the difference. So, but yeah, that's what
That's
I've
really
seen
helpful.
a huge difference.
That's really helpful. People
from
need to know, people need to hear someone talk about the difference. We don't hear that enough. That's really helpful. Yeah, the difference is huge. So we want,
the
we
difference.
want, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ms. Anderson.
The difference that you can see almost immediately is a higher level of integrity. So they're not actually self-sabotaging. The culture has a higher level of compassion and a higher level of integrity, which keeps the masculine energy with the men and the feminine energy with the women. They're very, very clear on their roles. and their family is important. So it's a beautiful, beautiful experience. And, you know, we're going to encourage you every single time to get your passport, because the world travel is something that will open your mind, and you'll get outside of this American bubble that has you with low integrity. And one of the things that we deal with for new students, well, in general, is the rudeness, okay? Americans are rude. We don't want to talk about it, but we speak English, and if you only speak one language, then it's rude. There was a post that was shared, and it was a challenge that you would only see from Americans, because it's very, very sinister, I guess, is the best way that I can explain it. But they were making, it was supposed to be a practical joke of sorts, but in no other culture would it be acceptable for you to go and tell somebody to shut up. And they didn't just say shut up, they used the F-bomb in there, right? And the disproportionate amount of melanated people that were being made fun of on this video clip that was supposed to be funny, to destroy the image of our people. It's nothing to laugh about. The rudeness is not funny. It's not funny. It's keeping you repeating the cycle of dysfunctional families. And now you're on third and fourth and fifth generations of unmarried households. Because
yeah, and you know what? Some people are annoyed by our politeness because we're being too polite, too kiss up, I think it's called. But they're not understanding that people give us everything. They do not understand that. Politeness is one of the first steps to respect and submission. Both of them. It's the female version of respect, the male version of submissive. Politeness is the first step. Politeness is how people around the world give you things, because literally when you deal with somebody, even in America, from another place, you can't buy their cooperation. Your actual currency is your respect.
yes.
And your politeness. Like you can literally try to travel around the world, and if you're rude, you will have to pay a disrespect tax. You'll have to pay 3 or 4 times as much as everybody else, because you were not raised right and you're rubbing people the wrong way. They literally charge you too much more, which I actually agree with, because you don't want to be respectful. So that's a disrespect tax. It's going to cost you a lot of money. So that is an excellent point.
Is the other thing that we experience with low integrity individuals, first of all, okay, individuals, is their constant trying to use us and not give back to our people. We are giving back to our people in abundance. It is not right for you to think that you can come and take from us and not give back to the people. You pay it forward. Pay it forward. You help somebody else. Don't hoard the information and not share with people, and you know that it's beneficial, because you want to, again, look like you never, got help from anybody else to fix what may not have been perfect in your world. So you want to come across as if you never got any help at all. That's not right. That's not right.
And everybody successful had help. What about that? And about the jealousy, I just want to point out that jealousy is only for losers.
Yeah. Don't be selfish. Be generous.
Right.
Share. Help somebody become a better person. Okay? The other thing that we experience with the low integrity is not understanding the difference between being a bully and a doormat.
Yeah.
Black women go from one extreme to the other, right?
But why? You should say why.
TV. Too much TV. We watch too much TV. We
But
actually think that
also,
life is like the
it is,
TV.
yeah, but the TV, I'm pretty sure that at this point, it's reflecting the fact that all of us, almost all of us, were hit as children. And when you're a child and you get hit, the first thing you do is either become a bully when you're happy that somebody else is getting hit or that you're now the hitter. And then when it's your turn, you become a doormat again to stop the hitting. So it's these two modes that people have to survive. It's survival mode. But if I think one of the issues that we're having is the fact that people do not understand that we as a whole people, we need therapy. And so that is something that is missing from Black America. And we deserve therapy. One of the things that we offer in this movement is a kind of therapy and counseling. And we do have courses of the 57 courses where people can understand how to heal themselves. And those things need to be taken seriously. Heal yourself from sexual abuse. Make sure that you are healed from any childhood trauma. Make sure that you are healed from feeling neglected, unloved, pushed to the side. Make sure that you are healed from living in a home that wasn't proper to be raised in. Make sure that you get healed, that you don't enjoy other people suffering. Like we got a problem here. So that's the therapy thing. And one of the other things that people say, and we need to point out, is people hear our voices and they say, oh my gosh, your voice is so annoying. I don't want to listen to a voice like that. I'm a millennial, blah, blah, blah. Ladies, please understand, men, not males, men are attracted to quality, nurturing, feminine, soothing voices. You know why? It brings peace into the home and it causes healing. Okay? Yes, someone asked about husband school. Yes, we have husband school. My husband teaches it. Mrs. Anderson's husband teaches it. Our husbands do teach husband school. It's called Husband Summit, but yes, we have that because you don't go around schooling men, okay? That's why it's not called husband school. We know which words we're supposed to be using. So now let me see who needs to come back. I think Miss Malak wants to come back. Let's see here if I can add her. All right, Miss Malak. There we go. Okay, so we want, this is really interesting because the last time that we were here, that I was talking about wife duties, people could not answer what the wife duties were and what the over 100 wife duties are. And most people in America think that wife duties are cooking, cleaning, sex, and raising children. But most American women don't even do those 4 things well.
Nope.
Cooking, cleaning. They share the sex with the boyfriend, so by the time they get to the husband, he don't have any sex left. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's your husband's sex. You shouldn't be stealing. And the other thing is, there is this total disregard for all of the other about 96 wife duties. Okay, ladies, here's your turn. Because other ladies couldn't answer this question. So what do y'all say? What are the wife duties?
Okay.
Just
Keep
name
the
a
peace.
few, because we can't get through all of them.
Okay. Keep the peace. Family financial planning. The compassion, increasing compassion,
Mhm.
happiness. I'll let somebody else go.
Rites of passage.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, what was the other one?
Rites of passage.
Trauma blocking.
Mhm.
That's a huge one.
Yeah. Building self-esteem,
Yes,
That's my favorite. That's what I was going to say.
Family.
keeping family records.
Creative memory.
Bringing the spirituality in the family.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cultural.
Bringing culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many things. And one of them is to bring, to support the generational success in the family. And people think that it is, and the list is set out for you in Wife School with every lesson associated with each one. So we are extremely proud to be so thorough. But we want people to understand that what we are teaching is not opinions. We teach research of the best international practices of women from 16 different cultures where there is a high rate of generational success that goes back many generations. So what we're teaching you all is the good stuff. Okay, the best stuff. And that is, and we pride ourselves. We call ourselves housewives. We don't call ourselves stay-at-home moms because our husbands come first. We love those children. We love them. But our husband comes first. Okay, so that was so great with the wife duties. So look, ladies, you all are so effective and thorough that we thought this was going to take so long, but we're almost to the end because nobody's like talking over, interrupting, being rude. All right. So, I want to ask everybody to close out by giving us like 3 tips of how women can do the opposite of sabotage themselves and be successful, and single mothers specifically, how single mothers can reach their actual goal of marrying a quality man.
Okay. One of the things that you can do is increase your feminine grace, class, and nurturing. This is huge, 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 huge. The other thing that I'm going to suggest is that you learn to collaborate. This individual mindset that we have needs to stop. We need to become a community of people who network and collaborate, and that is how we as
Oh, is Mrs. Anderson frozen?
housewives.
Okay. Could you repeat
Another
yourself,
one of
Mrs.
our wife duties. Collaboration. Is it still frozen? I apologize. Is it still?
It's like skipping just a little.
Okay.
It's fine. Because we're patient. How about now? Okay.
Okay, I think that I'm having some Wi-Fi issues.
Yeah, but if you keep talking, and it'll probably pick up.
Okay, so yes, so collaboration, that is one of our wife duties. Being able to collaborate with other wives.
Mm-hmm. Mrs. Anderson is frozen again, but her point is so good and so deep.
Oh no! Am I women, do not feel threatened by other women who are successful and try to destroy things. Instead, take the time to improve the things that are making you feel the way that you are, okay? stop the destructive behavior, and go on the improvement side. It's okay.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Mrs. Anderson. You came through at the end. We could hear you. Okay. Now,
Yay.
Mrs. Perryman, can you give us some tips? Give the ladies some tips.
I sure can. So I would tell single mothers to prepare your children by making space for your future husband. The spot at the table where he's supposed to sit, that's where he sits only. No one else is supposed to sit there. In bed, children after three aren't supposed to be in the bed with you. Make space in your bed for your husband, for your future husband. Um, practice efficiency. Speed cleaning. We've got tons of groups on Facebook now where we're working on our speed and our efficiency in cleaning, in cooking. We've got the Creole cooking courses, which are teaching us how to cook meals in like under 30 minutes. We've got the domestic time management course in wife school. That's excellent. That helps you manage your time and everything. And lastly, stay in your femininity. As you go through these 57 courses, and you learn what femininity is, hold on to that and don't go back into masculinity, and just keep on holding on to that. And as you learn new things, add on to it. It's going to be awkward at first, it's going to be difficult, and then eventually it's going to be uncomfortable, because the masculine things that you're forced to do, you're like, this is for the birds. And then you realize, then I need a husband ASAP. Just stay in your feminine lane, and it'll all come together. And in the meantime, men rescue you. Men recognize women who are in their feminine energy. And because they want to provide, protect, and be of service and help, they jump in. They really do. They show up.
Yay! Everybody is so lovely. Do y'all know this? That people think that we're like Stepford wives or something? But everybody has their own spin and just so graceful. So I'm so grateful for you all to bring some balance and peace and sanity to my life in the sea of craziness. Okay. Miss Hoffler.
Yes, some points that I would have for single mothers is to definitely see about investing in parenting courses. It is so important, because even if you're moving in more feminine
Miss
direction.
Hoffler, we think you're muted.
Oh,
or maybe the microphone is covered.
Can you hear me?
You might have your microphone covered. I'm not sure, but we cannot.
I can hear her.
You can?
Yeah.
Yes. So
no, she's not coming through to me. Can everybody else hear her?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Okay, then go ahead. I cannot hear.
I was going to say that definitely making sure to invest in parenting classes, because as you're moving into a more feminine lane, the old ways that you were possibly being aggressive with the children will totally diminish the new integrity of a person that you're trying to be. So it's so empowering to be able to gently nurture and parent our children. It literally elevates their mindsets. It elevates their behavior, and it helps them as you're moving into a more blended family. Another point I wanted to mention is, through figuring out what a healthy man or versus male is, it'll really help to heal a lot of trauma from past relationships and dating, that you'll be able to realize that so many things you didn't recognize before, that you can avoid going forward. And finally, this is a really peculiar topic, but for some women, it's a very touchy. If you have sons, especially, be open to our sons being reunited with their fathers. Be open to reuniting our sons, especially, with their fathers. As the woman, after a certain point, we're not able to guide them into masculinity. The most that you can do is be as feminine as possible, but it will not allow them to be stand-up men and strong as they need to be. It won't, it'll actually do more harm than good. And it's something we really like to be a little touchy about, but I just challenge a lot of our women to open yourself up to that possibility, because it could literally heal your families, and it actually strengthens the fathers to have full responsibility of these boys. And we need more men and less males. We're actually creating dangerous males when we are not allowing them to be raised by men. So those are my 3 pointers for any single mothers looking to be wives.
Lovely.
Yay. Excellent. So I know that Miss Colbert wants to come back. Thank you so much, Miss Hoffler. You always bring such beauty. I want everybody here to know that Miss Hoffler is a beautiful Black woman who is not in denial about her weight. We are her family. We love her. We would never steer her in the wrong direction and make her be in the position to not have the best possible choices. This lovely woman also always wears a dress. Okay, Miss Hoffler, I'm going to try to add Candace back. Okay, thank you. Let me see. Bye. Let me see. Miss Hoffler. There we go. I'm trying, everybody. I'm not so... Oh, that's much better, Candace. Okay. All right, cool. Yay! We did it. You came back. Now, can we hear some tips of success and how to not sabotage yourself from Miss Colbert, who has just joined us? And everybody tell me if you can hear or not when she starts, okay? Please.
No,
No?
we cannot hear. We cannot hear Miss.
Okay.
Cannot hear Miss
Not
Colbert.
yet.
So Miss Colbert, a little.
Breaking.
Okay, so Miss Colbert, maybe you can work on it. I'm not sure, but we're going to try to work on it, and then we'll go to you last, okay? We'll go back to you. All right. Okay, so who do we have left? Miss Marilyn, do you have some tips?
I do. I do. I would definitely agree with all the ladies to invest in yourself and your future family. White school is wonderful. There's so many places that you can start, and it's really about not where you start, but where you end. And my last 2 points are going to be like in one. I would definitely say try to look at the root of the problems. If you think that you come from a bad family, why you come from a bad family and what you can do to fix it. And lastly, some great advice that Madame Grasham gave to me: forgive yourself. You can't blame yourself for things that you didn't know. Now is the time to see where the problem is, but you're still wonderful because now you're going to be moving in the right direction. You're in the circle of winners now. So you don't have to be sad about being a single mother and the mistakes that you made to get here, but look to the future and where you're going to be and the beautiful future, wonderful royal family that you're going to.
Yes, indeed. Forgive yourself, okay? And don't let any person, male, man, woman, female, tell you that you don't have the right to do better. They are absolutely just wrong. We all have a new life every day. Do we have the right? And should we be making a ton of mistakes after we know better? No. But when we know better, that is when we can do better. And do not let people tell you that you cannot do better. You don't even have to tell them your past. It's your business. It is. You have the right to become what you want to become. And so if other people do not want to accept that, maybe it's possible that you're not embodying what you're saying you have become. But if you are able to walk the walk and you really do live what you have learned, do not listen to anybody tell you that you are now a person. Oh my goodness, I hate this one. And hate is a very strong word for me. Telling a single mother that she cannot be celibate and wait until marriage to have sex because she already had sex with somebody. She can do, as my daddy said, whatever she wants. Whatever you want may come with consequences, but everybody has a choice to choose whatever they want with positive and negative consequences. So don't let a man tell you that you cannot be celibate because you already had a child. Okay? And I personally may not tell them. I would probably, if I was in that situation, I probably would come up with a more presentable heritage situation that we would like to say for the future. Let's put it like that. Why ruin your future by telling the truth about how horrible your past was? You don't have to do that. This is one of the reasons why we do not want a bunch of people who can't get past religion to come to our teachings. People are so difficult sometimes talking about their lying instead of speaking beauty into their existence. You have the right to make whatever reality you want with your mind, with your words, and with your actions. And we will back you up. Okay?
All right.
Mrs. Malak, would you like to add some tips, my dear?
Yes, yes. I would like to say for single mothers to learn how to serve. Like, learn how to serve your children, your other family members when you're on a date. Really understand that this shows your unselfishness and it shows compassion, and this attracts men. I also want to say to try the no complaining challenge. Like, if you can just do it once a week, that would be awesome. The no complaining challenge is very, very crucial because it shows that you want to stay positive and that you are easy to please and that you are protectable. And then the last thing that I would like to give advice from is really study what self-care is. Like, really study self-care. Please stop doing these yoni's things and all of these beads and olive oil stuff. Learn what real self-care is. We have a course for that. Actually, we have two. We have two courses for that. But really study self-care, self-love, because that is something that will help heal you without even knowing it.
Yes. And we should probably say to everybody who's interested in self-care and self-love that the deepest way to get genuine self-love and self-care is to put other people in front of you in service and compassion. That is the feminine way. There also is something that we love to teach about the feminine attraction. Because you're not supposed to, Black ladies in America, you're not supposed to try to be attracted to a man based on his appearance. Should you be repulsed by him? No. But you're not supposed to say, "Ooh, he looks good, I want to be with him." That's masculine energy. Feminine ladies are attracted to men based on their ability to nurture them. Feminine ladies are attracted to men based on their vision of nurturing them. And the more that they practice nurturing them, the more they actually fall in actual love. Sustainable love, not the infatuation that people see and the lust that people see on TV. The real love happens usually after marriage when women feel wanted and safe to give it, deeply wanted. And that real love comes from for a woman. The more you respect your husband, the more you won't be grossed out when he does normal stuff like burp and fart and smack when he eats. A lot of women have problems with that stuff because they like the male for his appearance. But if you respect your husband, a king can burp if he wants to. I promise you that. So that is so lovely. You all, I think that was so helpful to everybody. We are like 4 minutes early.
Yeah.
With this, and I just want to thank you all, and I want to say that I hope that your families are doing well. I hope that I know that you are prospering. You know, it's 2021, and I cannot wait to see the next step for all of your families, because what you all are looking here is mostly the seasoned ladies, and now we're getting to, the great part. Somebody asked in the comment if any one of us have created millionaires. Yeah, duh. Okay, so would anybody like to say anything?
I would like to close by saying, stay protected.
Nope. Oh, we can't hear Mrs. Anderson.
Oh, okay. Now, can you all hear me?
Then. That's it then. Because we can't hear anymore, so this is perfect timing. Well, I can't hear, I don't know. But we love you so much, ladies, and everybody watching. Bye.
Bye.